Hi guys, welcome to Beneath the Surface Tarot. Today I'm going to be channeling for the sign of Aries, and this is for if you're Aries in your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and I'm also feeling compelled to say your Lilith Node, which is also known as Black Moon. So if you're in Aries in any of those placements, this reading might resonate for you. Now, one thing I do want to say is the reading won't resonate for everybody who has an Aries placement. Uh, Also, when doing a collective reading, the energy can really show up in your life in a lot of different ways, in a lot of different scenarios. So I kind of have to go with whoever's pulling the strongest on my energy. Whatever group or individual is pulling the most on me is what I have to go with. So don't take it too literally, because if I'm talking, if I'm going into something about love and romance, this could actually play out in a friendship connection, a business opportunity, a job. These energies can really manifest in a lot of ways in our life. So take it, take the specifics as more of an example than as literal. So the cards that I pulled for you in this situation were the Tower in the reverse, the Man, and Hostilities. And the way that the energy that I picked up from this, the way that I interpreted it, was you are resisting a shift, a tower moment right now. And what this is, it's your masculine side of yourself. So even if you're a feminine person, or you identify as a feminine person, we each have a masculine and feminine side of ourselves, right? And the masculine side of yourself is having a little bit of resistance to letting down some barriers that are around your heart chakra. The cards that were in your crossing, your obstacle, your challenge, were the Six of Wands in reverse, heart chakra, or Archangel Raphael, and the dog. So yeah, really what I was picking up was you have certain walls and barriers that are built up around your heart chakra from previous disloyalties. I was getting disloyal friendships or disloyal relationships. Particularly in relationships, I was getting an energy of somebody who has been cheated on maybe multiple times, or in a situation that was actually pretty devastating to you. And I was getting that it's hard for you to acknowledge or admit that you were wounded. Basically, we all have heart chakra wounds. If we've ever dated or had, you don't even have to date or have relationships to have heart chakra wounds. Honestly, we all have heart chakra wounds, period. But what I was getting with this masculine hostility, resisting the tower moment, I was really sensing, and I do consider this a masculine energy, I was really picking up on somebody who is really uncomfortable with their emotions and with their emotional side. Really uncomfortable showing vulnerability, showing softness, to the extent that you might actually be really restricting yourself. I really was getting somebody who's actually kind of really harsh on themselves. Somebody who I was really getting doesn't fully allow themselves to feel, and I was getting doesn't even allow themselves to feel good. I was picking up on a big imbalance between head and heart, between mind and heart. Someone who really leads with their head, and I'm feeling like this is probably you. This is very Aries. You're an Aries. very fire, very forward, steadfast, very strong, all about strength. But having emotions is not weakness. Actually facing your emotions is a sign of strength. Being able to face and fully heal and resolve your emotions is a sign of strength, not of weakness. But I think that, you know, in general, I think our society is really pushes that onto the masculine side of ourselves, where showing emotion is kind of a sign of weakness or femininity. And I was picking up that some of you are people who identify as masculine, who do struggle with sort of a almost a nervousness or a fear, I want to say, which you might not like admitting that you have a fear, but you know, a fear of really feeling your emotions, also feeling love and romance. I'm hearing somebody who, from a place of heart wounds, has decided in their mind that desiring romantic love is a form of dependency, or it's not logical. You've really disconnected yourself from your heart, from your space of love. And that's not just romantic love, that's that's self-love too. Yeah. Oof. I mean, that's some fire sign shit right there, for sure. I'm a water sign, so I'm super emotional. I you know, but yeah, I'm getting that it's difficult for you to admit, acknowledge, and feel your emotions. All right, I have some notes down here too, things that I really wanted to touch on. That's right. Okay, yeah, I was hearing. Okay, I was getting some pessimistic energy. Oh, let me start. Let me go here first. I was picking up. I don't normally do love and romance readings, but this is an energy that came up really strongly in this reading. Was love and romance stuff, and I was getting an energy from somebody who really deep down does really desire a really good, open, comfortable, loyal relationship with somebody. And we're gonna go into visual stuff that I saw, which is symbolic and metaphorical. The vision I saw was this huge Valentine's Day themed Airbnb or hotel suite, and everything was decorated in dark pink and red and really rich, luscious, sort of Valentine's Day sensual themed colors and decor. And these two people were just in bed watching movies together, wrapped up in each other. And the key here was that they were in such a state of just absolute relaxation, comfort, right? Nothing fucking mattered except what was going on between these two people in this suite. Nothing else mattered. They had everything they wanted right there. They were on the same page, they were on the same frequency, they had the same interests. They could really let go and be themselves and not have tension or worries or anxieties or nervousness or any of that mental static, like nothing, just total bliss between these two people. And the energy, people that I'm channeling, the Aries that I'm channeling, there is a part of you that really truly does desire that connection with somebody. But I think there's a part of you that's afraid to, and you really blocked this off with barriers and walls. And that would be this tower, right? And it needs to come down. Now, I'm going to throw in a metaphor, another visual that I got, which is metaphorical and symbolic for things. And the metaphor that I got was I saw a chimney and a fireplace. Now the chimney was really old, busted up, cracks everywhere, crumbling, pieces falling off of it. There's dirt and leaves and twigs all stuffed up in it, so it's not functioning anymore. I mean, it's totally clogged up. This chimney is done. It's dirty, it's old, you can't clean it, you can't repair this, you really can't. But it had scaffolding on it, and you know, no tools on it. Nobody's up there working on it, just it had scaffolding on it. So basically, there's this old structure that's totally dysfunctional, totally ugly, totally unrepairable, irreparable. And somebody wants to fix it, wants to repair this structure, but they're not actually putting the work in to do so. So it's really just sitting there, continuing to fall apart and crumble, being barely held up by luck and your willpower, and this scaffolding might be holding it together a little bit, but you know, ultimately it's not serving you anymore, and you're gonna really want to let that chimney fall down. Now this chimney is representing the walls that you've built around your heart chakra. Once this chimney falls down, do you want to leave your heart chakra completely exposed and vulnerable? No, of course not. So let's go ahead and build up new boundaries. We don't want to be completely boundless, right? We do want to protect ourselves and, you know, be balanced about things. But the structures that you have built in the past, you built at a time that you were experiencing pain in your heart chakra, and you had to build these walls to protect it. That time is over. This is a new time. That was then. This is now. And this person, I'll get to this. I think that you're here in the past, the recent past. We do have the Ace of Wands, the book, and appreciation. So I think that there's somebody that has come into your life in the recent past that has really ignited this sort of like romance fire that you have been kind of avoiding since your last rodeo, so to speak. Yeah, so I think you might have freaked out a little bit. I think some of you either, one of three things, either ghosted, got into sort of a little argument with the person, and cut it off, or you're just kind of being emotionally distant at the moment, even if you don't realize it. That's if you're in a situation with somebody. And the reason I'm saying this is because in the foundation I got the Two of Pentacles with the ring and the Victory. So I think for some of you that I'm channeling, what happened was this new fire spark, this kind of new passion, desire, this feeling in your heart chakra that makes you uncomfortable because it's been wounded. You might have rejected it or kind of distanced yourself from it a little bit. For some of you specifically, I actually got that you dove into work and just keep saying you don't have time for it, or something like that. Yeah, for you, this was, in a way, you feel this sense of victory because you feel like you successfully protected yourself by not committing to something, because for you, you're thinking probably if you why commit to something just so that you can get hurt again, right? So for you, you may have thought that you were victorious here. Sorry to say that. I got a sense you might have been somebody, you might have kind of ghosted somebody that you wanted and so that you were interested in, or distanced yourself from. And I definitely got a situation where you kind of, maybe you didn't want to really cut it off, but you just were not feeling right. You were, like that nervousness, and you were kind of like, well, I'm just gonna like put it off on the side for right now, put it in the back burner, and just focus on work. I don't want to think about that because that's too much feeling. Unfortunately, whatever this victory was, it must not have been too much of a victory, because in the crown I have the Sith with the Door to Personal Healing and Happiness in reverse, and the Knight of Swords in reverse. So again, somebody leading with their head. And leading with your head is fine, but I'm getting that somebody's really out of balance. Like they're all head, no heart. And it's not that you have no heart, it's that your head doesn't allow you to go into your heart space. Something about you're allowing yourself to go into your head space. And I was also getting a sense of irritability. And I totally, going back to the chimney, I never went to the fireplace part. Along with this chimney, there was the fireplace. This is where I'm going into some of the irritability. And the hostility card from the beginning too. This is all going to tie in together. Sometimes, not sometimes, all the time. We all do this. Everybody does this. We get wounded. We consciously, in our conscious mind, we process it, heal it, resolve it, move on from it, let it go. But there's still parts of our unconscious mind and our emotional self that are actually still being affected, and we kind of don't always clear all of the cobwebs out. And then these things, so this is the fireplace, right? This is that fireplace that's burning, and the chimney that's totally not functional. With that chimney, that old busted up chimney, your heart chakra, the walls around your heart chakra, it's not functional. So your emotions, your emotional wounds, things can't ventilate out. The smoke, right? The soot, that toxic stuff from the burns, they have to be able to vent out the chimney. So since they're not, because you have that all blocked off and imbalanced with old structures, that smoke is seeping out into the living room, and that smoke will continue to travel and seep out into the kitchen and up the stairs and into the bathroom and into the bedrooms and into your whole house, and then everybody's breathing in toxic smoke air, and you might not even be fully aware of it. You might not even really smell it, because it could be, just a little bit, but it's still there, right? That's what's happening with your wounds. Because you don't allow yourself to fully feel your emotions, you haven't been able to fully heal or resolve some emotions that are still just kind of hanging out down inside of you energetically in your heart chakra. They're just sitting there stagnant, residual, right, from old wounds. That's that smoke, and it's seeping into your life in different areas, right? And it's not even just in the area of relationship. This can come out in irritability at work, in friendships, with family. Certain conversations and words, things could just trigger you because you actually haven't fully resolved these wounds. See what I'm saying? If you're getting triggered by things, then you haven't fully resolved it. And that's probably because you haven't fully felt it, because when you feel it, you tell yourself that's not logical. It doesn't make sense to feel that way. So you just suppress it, right? That's really what I'm picking up on, and I don't think that's a very uncommon thing at all for people in general, especially not for anybody with an Aries placement. Very common. So whatever this is, this person, maybe this relationship that you kind of put to the side or canceled or ghosted on, right? This victory, you might have pursued something else that you just thought was more logical or realistic, and or not. Either way, what you're experiencing now is that it's just you're not fulfilled. I got boredom. I got a little bit of boredom. I just got a little bit of like now that this fire was started, trying to just move on without acknowledging it is feeling empty, because you felt this for a minute and now you're like, wait, maybe I do actually kind of want that. Now that you're trying to continue on without feeling anything, it's really not bringing you, you're realizing that maybe you're not actually emotionally fulfilled. You're actually pretty emotionally cut off and suppressed, perhaps, just from not allowing yourself to really feel things. Like I said, I was really getting somebody who doesn't even allow themselves to feel good. Kind of a hard-ass energy. Aries, I mean, it's a good quality to have, but you have to remind yourself to also be kind to yourself, you know, be nurturing, feel things, enjoy life. Don't always, it's not all about work, and movement. Although I know Aries, it's hard for you to slow down. Slow down and feel something. I'll move on from it. You know? But really, when it comes to emotions, we're all human. We all have emotions. We can't, it doesn't matter what sign you are. Or if you're a man or a woman or masculine or feminine. We all have emotions. We all have masculine and feminine energy, regardless of your gender identity. I was getting, though, for those of you who do identify as a masculine person, that allowing yourself to feel romance and love and desire is something that you consider to be not masculine or to be weak or feminine. So I just wanted to mention on that. So not true. Here's a couple things I want to say about love and romance being a feminine thing. If love and romance were just a feminine thing, then all masculine people would be totally single forever, and all feminine people would be dating each other. One second, my camera's about to... Now, that's obviously now not how it works. We know we have masculine, feminine, non-binary people in between, everybody dating everybody. So romance and love and desire is for everybody, period. Also, if you're a masculine person and you're feeling self-conscious about delving into your desire for love and romance, keep in mind that we have ancient deities, male masculine deities representing love and romance, like Cupid, Eros, and Kamadeva. So, you know, I know that our culture, our society really does kind of put a lot of heavy pressure on masculine people to be a certain type of way, but if you really look at it in a very balanced human nature, natural way, love and romance is a very real energy, a very real thing that we feel as human beings. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not a weakness. It's not a feminine trait. So, be a little bit softer with yourself, even if it makes you uncomfortable at first. Try it. You gotta get out of your comfort zone sometimes. What I got was the King of Wands with storm warning in reverse, and the magnifying glass. And what I really saw here was if you take a closer look at yourself and at your situation and at your heart space and at your wounds, your emotional wounds, you can really heal, resolve, balance it out pretty quickly because you are a fire sign, so moving fast is kind of your thing. It really shouldn't take long. You know, you shouldn't have to spend a lot of time feeling. It's kind of like feel it, okay, felt it all the way, you know, really processed it, thought about it. Like I said, don't rush through it, but it shouldn't take you long because you are a fire sign. You know, maybe a water sign might spend more time sitting there, maybe cry about it, but I don't see you doing that. But as long as you do really feel it, process it, look at it, acknowledge it as a reality, a real thing from your past, separate from it, you know, separate your present situation from it, and you'll find yourself in a really balanced masculine fire energy. Or you'll find your masculine side really in a more balanced place, in more of this King of Wands energy, which is sort of fire energy mastered. Somebody who's really confident in themselves, passionate, knows what they want, goes for it, definitely knows their desires and follows their desires. And I think it'll really help prevent a lot of future pain, drama, complications, and reduce some of this irritability and agitation, tension, and hostilities that you might be feeling kind of on the low. I would say if you're in a relationship, I was picking up that you might actually be lashing out at your partner a little bit here and there. Just, you know, I was getting a sense of irritability, that not being able to vent out your chimney properly. And if you are in a relationship, this reading can totally apply to you still. It would mean that you might be desiring that Valentine's Day energy with your partner and you're not really able to manifest that with them, and the reason could be, you know, it always takes two. I'm sure it's not you're the only reason for it. I'm sure they have imbalances too. Everybody has their own imbalances, but this would be the imbalance that would be contributing to any kind of stagnancy in getting to that level that you want if you are in a relationship. It's always good to introspect and take a look at our own imbalances that we contribute to other people's environmental issues, and that contribute to our relationships in our life. Not everything that happens to us is somebody else's fault. We're not always perfect. Sometimes we have our own imbalances, and sometimes, I mean, it's not our fault either. We're human. Life happens. And that's why we have tarot cards to help us figure it out, because it gets complicated, especially when it comes to the realm of emotions. That shit gets real complicated and complex. But that's what we have people like me and tarot cards for. So I hope this reading resonated with some of you. I hope it can help you in some ways. I really hope that you can do some of that work on your heart chakra and really allow yourself to enjoy more aspects of life, because I think this is something, in one way or another, everybody in the world experiences different types of self-restriction, being hard on themselves, struggling with balancing mind and heart, struggling with balancing shadow and light, struggling with balancing masculine and feminine, struggling with balancing elemental energy. We all have struggles and imbalances every day. So anyway, I'm rambling on at this point. I hope the reading was helpful for some of you.